Hello, lovely friend. I am Dr. Mary Barson.
And I'm Dr. Lucy Burns.
We are doctors
and weight management and metabolic health experts.
And this is the Real Health and Weight Loss Podcast.
Good morning, gorgeous listeners. It is me, Dr. Lucy, this morning. And guess what? I have my gorgeous friend, Dr. Mary, with me. So we have a fantastic topic coming up this morning. Gorgeous Mary, how are you, lovely?
Look, I'm pretty good today. All things considered, it's winter. Well, it's not. It feels like winter. It's getting wintry, and I've got my wood fire going, and I'm out there carrying wood and enjoying that coziness. I quite like me a southern Victorian winter. I know that I differ from you in this regard, but I'm kind of loving it, to be honest.
Oh, good. Do you know, the one thing as you know, I don't like the cold and I don't like clouds. I like sunshine. That makes me kind of happy. But I agree with you. I do like warm, snuggly food. So last week I cooked on the cooking show that chicken laksa, which is beautiful. Like, it's warming, it's creamy, it's, we call it a winter warmer. So yeah, there are components of it. I think what I would just like for Victoria is that the length of time of winter to actually just be the 3 months it's supposed to be, not the 6 months that it seems to drag on for.
Yeah, absolutely. I love the shorter days as well. I know I'm possibly in the minority here, but I love stargazing, and I love that, you can go out and enjoy the stars and look at all, that beautiful space and cosmos earlier in the day when there aren't clouds, of course. So yes, yep, it's good. I like having summer too, but I'm well, and I'm excited about today's topic. As a doctor who loves lifestyle medicine, today's topic is very close to my heart.
Indeed. And look, follows our theme, I think, of being, air quotes, boring middle of the roaders, because we're not about extremism. And, I've seen this, and lots of you will have seen this meme or picture on various social medias, and it's two queues. So there's two windows, like a bank window. On one window is, 500 people lined up, and on the other window is no people lined up. And, there are various iterations of this, but on the people lining up in the hundreds, it's got, pills and medicine window. And then in the other side, it's got lifestyle, and there's 0 people lining up. And people get on and basically slam. So many people here. But in social media, of course, everyone's got a voice and everyone's got an opinion, but people will get on and slam people for taking medications. So they're very judgmental, very critical, and will say things like, well, if you just improved your lifestyle, you wouldn't need medications. So I thought that is really today's topic. Is it this or that? Is it lifestyle or medicine? Or could it be actually a bit of both? Let's dive in.
Oh, you boring middle of the road, are you? Suggesting that we can have both. No, I completely agree. Let's dive in. So I'd like to, maybe first we could define lifestyle medicine a little bit. That might be helpful. You're a board certified lifestyle medicine physician, which is very cool. I don't quite have those qualifications, but I've got training in functional medicine and nutrition and all of these lifestyle-y things. What is lifestyle medicine? What do we mean by that, Dr. Lucy?
Yeah, so it's taking aspects of the way we live our life, so things that we can do in our everyday, middle of the road, boring lives, that we can use to not only prevent disease, but also treat it. So I think there's always, again, another thing to think about in medicine, and one is disease prevention and the other one is disease treatment. And they can be different. And look, it's interesting. I mean, some people use medications to prevent certain diseases. But I think at the heart of it, there are lots and lots of things that we can do to treat disease before we head to the medication route or route, depending on which part of the world you're from. So that it is at its heart. And for me, what it means is that as a doctor, I spent a lot of time in my clinic de-prescribing. So when I first was a junior doctor, we learned to prescribe medications, and I was slightly excited about the idea that I could write a magic pill for somebody and it would help them. And I honestly thought that was the way to go. Like, it was a good thing to do. And it's not a bad thing to do.
I could remember the first medication chart that I wrote in hospital, and it was for paracetamol. But I can remember this excitement that I had, that suddenly now I am allowed to do this. I can write something on a medicine chart and then that person's going to get it. I wrote paracetamol for someone who had a headache in hospital. It was a big moment for me.
Yeah, absolutely. And me too. And I, when I wrote scripts for high blood pressure, again, I did all of that with good intent to prevent further complications for people. Nothing that, of course, there's always exceptions, but in general, the majority of doctors have their patients' best interests at heart. They honestly do.
I've never met a doctor who didn't care about their patients, ever. Like, I haven't. Sometimes I've definitely met lots of patients who felt like their doctors didn't care about them, who felt like they were just treated as, a body part or a brain or just a number or an annoyance. Like, I certainly think that there can be problems with communication and the patient experience, absolutely. But at the heart, I've never met a doctor who didn't actually care. I truly have not.
Indeed. And I think there's lots of reasons why patients sometimes don't feel heard by their doctors. And I thought a couple of things, we could just go through a few of those now. And the number one thing I would say in the way medicine is delivered, and when I mean medicine, I mean kind of healthcare by medical doctors, in particular GPs, is time constraint. So, the time constraint is enormous. It's so hard.
There are time constraints for factors that are beyond the control of the doctor and the clinic. There are real world reasons why they can't spend an hour with every patient or half an hour with every patient. It'd be great if they could, and some can, but the only way that can work is with, an increase in charges for the patient, which is not ideal either. So the time constraints are real.
Absolutely. The second thing I think that, results in patients not feeling heard or believed or listened to by their doctor is actually sometimes doctors don't know everything. They honestly don't. It is the knowledge that you need, and particularly this is as a general practitioner, is huge. It's massive. And when I was a junior doctor and when I was studying for my GP exams, which were a long, long time ago now, there were about 4 medications for diabetes, as an example. There were maybe 5 or 6 different medications for hypertension and, 1 medication for osteoporosis. These days, there's over 20 different medications, classes, rules on prescribing, not prescribing, is it on the PBS, is it not on the PBS? All of those things, now there's rules on, there's rules all over the place.
And it changes constantly.
It does. And innovations come and all sorts of things. So it is sometimes that the doctor hasn't, it's not across the breadth of every single topic or healthcare issue with the same depth. So they may have a lot of knowledge, like be very experienced. Maybe they see a lot of knee injuries, for example, or sports medicine stuff, which may mean they're not as across hormone replacement therapy for menopausal women. Or they may be across hormone replacement therapy but don't know the nuances of the rules around, weight loss medications or all of those things. Like, there's so much coming and it's really, really tricky.
And then I'd say another thing is different communication styles, I'm sure. When you go and see the doctor, especially if you're unwell or you need something, you're feeling vulnerable, you are a patient, you, to varying degrees, are putting yourself in the hands of the healthcare professional. And sometimes there can be an expectation mismatch or a feeling that people's needs aren't met. And I think there are lots of ways that we could improve this as a profession. But this doesn't mean that the profession is bad, and it definitely doesn't mean that all medications are bad. and that if people are on medications, there's something wrong with them, or there's something wrong with the doctor who is prescribing medications. They have a place. They really, really do. Health, like real health, I would argue, is not something that can happen in the doctor's office. Real health is something that happens in your life. As you're saying, Lucy, with lifestyle medicine, it's the aspects of the way that you live your life that either promotes good health or could harm good health. The way in which you live your life that can help prevent or treat illnesses that you've got, or illnesses that you don't yet have and hopefully never will, or can make them worse. That's health. And then on top of that, you've got allopathic medicine, where you can have medications to better improve your blood sugar control with diabetes, to improve your blood pressure, your blood sugars, to improve your blood pressure. You know, there are medications you can have for everything. It's so powerful. Autoimmune illnesses. There are so many things out there. And, you know, if you break your leg, you're going to want some of those stronger painkillers. It's powerful. And it has a place. And that's what happens in the doctor's office. And that is a wonderful adjunct, I think, to what you do day to day. But knowing what to do day to day, knowing how to improve your lifestyle, you know, that's where lifestyle medicine comes in.
Absolutely. And unfortunately, lifestyle medicine takes some time to explain. People need encouragement to develop a consistency around it. And with the constraints of the way the current health system happens, in general, most doctors don't have time to go through that. So they just don't. They then go, right, well, what's the bit that I can do in my very short time? I can prescribe something that seems quick, good. So they'll either do that, or sometimes what they'll do is go, well, go away and come back in 3 months and we'll see how it is. And there's often a bit of lip service to, you know, see if you can lose some weight, or see if you can do some exercise. But again, that is not lifestyle medicine. See if you can lose some weight and see if you can do some exercise. It's really getting down to the bones of how to do it. Okay, so again, what we like to talk about, the map and the compass. So what to do, and then how to actually do it and put it into your life, and how to do it when life, you know, throws you curveballs, which, you know, I would actually argue that life doesn't throw curveballs, that it just is a curveball. It's all the time a curveball.
That's right. I agree.
And so we need to come up with a way that we can do all of this most of the time. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect, but it has to be consistent.
Yeah, and that's why, you know, you and I started online coaching and online courses, because it was a way to reach lots of people in a beautiful group setting, which is in itself very empowering, and so that people can make those lifestyle changes, fit them into your life, not delivered, you know, ineffectually, you know, every 3 to 6 months in a doctor's office, because it takes time to implement the changes. It takes time to develop your mindset skills and to change your mindset and to make your lifestyle work for you.
Absolutely, yes. So, yeah, to quote the old Pantene ad, for those of you who are of my generation, it won't happen overnight, but it will happen. And it truly is that. And it's trusting the process, continuing on, building. And again, you know, this is why it's so exciting for us, because we get to see lots of our people making these changes. And then it's a bit like compound interest. You start, you add a little bit more, then those two things add to a bit more, and then another little thing adds on top, and all of a sudden your health, it has grown, just like wealth. So it's amazing, it's fantastic, it's inspiring, and small changes can yield huge results.
It's doable. Everyone can do it. And if you are also taking medication for whatever reason, that's okay too. But the wonderful thing is that lifestyle changes and medicine can work synergistically. You know, it's not like you have to just do lifestyle changes or have a Ozempic, or just do lifestyle changes or have, you know, a metformin. You can do both, and both can be very powerful.
Yes, absolutely. And, you know, I would say that if everybody could spend time working on their lifestyle factors, then the things that will happen is, one, either they won't need the medication anymore, huzzah, or two, they may well be able to reduce the dose. And our favourite thing, at Real Life Medicine, we've got lots of favourite things, but one of our favourite things is that, you know, if you can use the lowest effective dose of a medication, then that is good for you. It's reduces side effects, it's cheaper for you, it's just all round better. So the lowest effective dose, the way to get the lowest effective dose is to enhance the lifestyle component of medicine, which again is what we do all the time, day in, day out.
It's what we live and breathe.
Indeed. So, lovelies, it's not this or that. It is this and that. And we want to, I guess, just reassure people there is no shame in needing medication or surgery. No shame at all. They are incredibly powerful tools. What we think is that everybody should have the opportunity to improve their lifestyle. And I know it's harder for some people than others, but often the reason for that is a skill shortage. It's not that you can't do it, that you're weak, hopeless, undisciplined, lazy, none of that. It is a skill shortage around what we like to call mindset or cognition or psychology, whatever word you like to use. But that's, again, it's so powerful to recognize the things that your brain says to you that stop you doing the things that you, at the back of your mind, know you could or want or should do.
That's it. Be empowered, beautiful people. This and that. I love it.
Indeed. All right, lovelies, we'll catch you all next week. Have a beautiful week. Think about your lifestyle. Work out one little thing that you can do for this week, and we'll see you next week.
Bye now.
The information shared on the Real Health and Weight Loss podcast, including show notes and links, provides general information only. It is not a substitute, nor is it intended to provide individualised medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment, nor can it be construed as such. Please consult your doctor for any medical concerns.